Terry Hegarty and videographer Sean Manning last month traveled to Baltimore, to the city where Bishop Rozanski spent most of his life. The bishop knew from an early age that he wanted to become a priest. In the second of a two-part series, Terry tells us about the influence the bishop's parish, family, and Polish heritage had on his faith.
Mitchell Thomas Rozanski was born August 6, 1958 in Baltimore, Maryland, and had spent his entire life there. With his installation mass August 12th at St. Michael's Cathedral, Bishop Rozanski officially became the 9th bishop of the Diocese of Springfield. Now, making his home here in Springfield, he is the first Polish-American bishop of the diocese. The installation, which hosted more than 900, took place nearly 30 years after his ordination to the priesthood. Growing up in the Graceland Park section of Baltimore, Mitchell Rozanski, his parents, and two younger brothers lived in this house here on Norman Avenue, a short walk from his parish and his school. And his parents still live here in this predominantly Polish neighborhood 45 years after purchasing the home. Bishop Rozanski's parents, Alfred and Jean Rozanski, say that while you wouldn't know it today, their eldest son used to be rather shy. But he was always very well liked.
And the neighbors, they all thought highly of Mitch. And he would do anything that he could possibly do. You know, he was always a dedicated person.
Anyone that met Mitch, or had anything to do with Mitch, they regarded him highly and liked him to no end.
By all accounts, Bishop Rozanski is a very humble, approachable man, introducing himself as Bishop Mitch.
Well, in the ministry of Jesus, whenever we see Jesus going out into the towns and the villages, Jesus, first of all, would search out people. He searched Zacchaeus out when Zacchaeus was up in the tree. He spoke with the woman at the well, even though it was not the custom of the day to speak with the woman. She was a Samaritan. So Jesus himself models that ministry of being approachable. And I think that that's really just a great model for any leader in the church.
Now I always tell him, I said, Mitch, remember where you come from. Don't let it go to your head. And just be yourself. And he is, everybody feels comfortable around him.
Alfred and Jean say that from a very early age, their firstborn was a kind person, and he always helped take care of his younger brothers, Kenneth and Albert. Bishop Mitch says he's grateful for his close family and for his Polish culture.
I think in the Polish culture, it was just assumed that faith is an integral part of what our culture is all about. It was the faith that helped preserve the Polish people through times of invasions and times of wars. The Polish people have a great dedication to the church because the church also, in addition to bringing the gospel, has preserved the culture and the heritage. So I thank God for that deep tie between faith and culture.
Bishop Mitch is a graduate of Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School and the Catholic University of America. He continued on to his seminary training at the Theological College at Catholic University. His parents say that their eldest knew by age 15 that he wanted to be a priest, and they believe that simply practicing their faith had a huge impact on all of the family members.
And try to be a good example by going to church and services, and we always say grace at our table, and little things like that you didn't ordinarily think they would pick up on, they do.
It was here at Sacred Heart of Mary Parish in Baltimore that as a young man, Mitchell Rozanski felt a calling to the priesthood. And that vocation was fostered as he worshiped with his family, as he served as an altar server, and as he volunteered at the parish rectory. Following a recent mass at the parish, Reel to Reel spoke with the celebrant, another native son, who's normally in Rome and who has known Bishop Mitch since childhood.
I can say he's a genuine human being. He's a man who's very compassionate, cares about people, and certainly has a great sense of humor. So I think he will be a tremendous blessing to the people of Springfield, and he'll be certainly someone who listens to them, and will be someone who's not afraid to make any tough decisions that have to be made. But always bearing in mind the good of the people.
Bishop Mitch attended a parish school right next door to the church. He says that his Catholic education was just one way that his vocation was fostered.
Faith was really rooted well in our family. I had the privilege of working around the church and witnessing what the priests were able to bring to their people, the love that they had for their people. And then I was able to see how people responded to that care and all that the priests gave.
He's been extremely happy in his vocation and says that he hopes that society will gain a better understanding of the call to be a priest or religious.
I'm praying that as our world recognizes in so many ways the futility of secular humanism, we will see the beauty of what it is to be called as priest or as deacon, as religious men and women in serving the Lord, and the joy that that brings.
His parents say that they were filled with pride at their son's priestly ordination nearly 30 years ago.
We even told him, before that if you change your mind, don't feel bad about, stepping out. It won't hurt us. But we didn't want him to change his mind, and he didn't.
We were happy and proud, and we knew he'd be dedicated. We knew whatever he got into, he was going to be dedicated to it. So that made us feel really proud of him.
During his homily at his farewell mass in Baltimore last month, Bishop Mitch spoke of the occasion as bittersweet. Sad that he must leave Baltimore, but honored to have been selected to shepherd the people of the Diocese of Springfield. His parents feel the same.
We're just happy that we're sharing our son, and maybe he'll make somebody else's life happy and better. And that's all we wish for.
The Director of Communications for the Archdiocese of Baltimore says that Bishop Mitch is looking forward to ministering in Springfield.
I think he's really eager to, begin this new chapter and to respond to the Pope's confidence in him. He really feels prepared and is excited and eager to work with the priests and the people in Springfield.
Baltimore Archbishop William Lori says that a bishop must convey the love of God.
This pastoral love is not just for the sake of making all of us feel good. It is for the sake of bearing witness to the gospel. And I know Bishop Rozanski is going to be a magnificent witness to the hope of the gospel.
Bishop Mitch says he's glad to have the opportunity to further the new evangelization in Springfield.
And I think as a bishop, to encourage everyone to live their faith to the fullest, because in living the faith to the fullest, as we see what Pope Francis does in his example, it attracts others to the faith. They're curious, then they start to explore more. So I think that's part of the new evangelization. And as bishop, I have to be a part and a supporter and a cheerleader for that new evangelization.
With his installation complete, the cheerleading can now commence. Reporting for Reel to Reel, this is Terry Hegarty.